Welcome to BossUp Babes, helping babes show up, boss up, and thrive. With #1 best-selling author, global influencer, and ultimate boss babe, Karissa Adkins. Karissa is a health and wellness expert and CEO of the 365 Daily Hustle, here to help mompreneurs and career-focused women boss up and reclaim their healthiest life. She is a pro at cutting through the BS and inspiring massive breakthroughs that help women create healthy routines and habits that facilitate personal and professional growth. Are you ready to reclaim your best life, take action, and be a badass boss babe? Let's get to it.
What's up, queens? Hello, boss babes. Welcome back to another amazing BossUp Babes episode. I'm your host, Karissa Adkins, your champion for all things habit forming, health, and of course, happiness and abundance. And I am so freaking excited for today's episode, you guys. If I could cherry pick my ladies that I interview that I get to just be honored with and have them on my show, Yamilca comes to the top of the list. And I'm so excited to be able to, share her knowledge and her expertise with you guys. So get ready for a fun, exciting, and powerful new episode where we're talking all about brand. And yes, you have a brand, even if you don't own your own business. You are your brand, and we're going to dive into that soon. But when I think of Yamilca, I think of a couple of words come to mind, right? Like, she's a badass creator. She's unconventional. She's innovative. She's strategic. She's so much fun, and she's a powerhouse. She knows her branding like nobody's business. I met Yamilca back in 2019 when we collaborated on the very first book that you guys know that I wrote. I co-authored, and it's called Women Who Boss Up. So we are the pioneers of the Women Who Boss Up movement, and it's so cool to have her finally on my show. It's so awesome. But with that, I just want to do a quick intro. You can find her full bio below in the link, so definitely go check that out in the notes section. But yeah, Yamilca is the CEO and president of Bespoke branding agency. Yamilca helps us uncover our unconscious bias so that we can uncover our essence. Ooh. Just let that one sit with you guys here for a moment. She helps us uncover our unconscious bias so that we can uncover our pure essence. That's badass. We all have a brand and can become famous for what we do. Yes, I know you're listening. I know you're listening out there. And yes, you can become famous. And you can honestly do whatever you want, with that. So then she says the #1 thing that you need to be aware of is your fame characters so that we can deliver your true fame essence. And with that, Yamilca, welcome to the BossUp Babes Show.
Oh, thank you, Karissa. I am so excited to be here. And, you're a badass woman yourself. So I can't wait to have a discussion with you.
We tend to flock together. Have you noticed that, ladies? You are the sum of the 5 people you hang with. So look to your right, look to your left. If you're not happy in your life, maybe change the people in it. But she wows me, and we got to reconnect in Vegas a couple months ago. I think it was in April, and we were like, why aren't we on each other's podcast? And I was like, girl, let's make this happen. And so I can't wait. We swapped podcasts. Hers is today, mine's coming out. You guys will be able to hear more about that later in the fall, but so freaking excited. So Yamilca, I like to get every episode started with a fun question of the day, if you will. And my question to you is this: what was your favorite book that you read in the last year that really impacted your business? Can you think of one?
Wow, that's a really, really good question. So I read Titans just recently, and that's by Tim Ferriss. I read Tim Ferriss' first book, 4-Hour Work Week, years ago when I started Procter & Gamble, and that really started to made me think about different things. When I read Titans, it was really interesting. I mean, it was all like a agglomeration of all his podcasts to very, very high level people. And it was really good to see the different learning experiences and the challenges they had and the wisdom they had to give. So it has shifted a bit of how I think about my business now, in the sense of, as you know, we need to take our business to the next level. I think there's an opportunity during our business life that we just go to the next level and go to the next level. And I think this gave me a really good perspective on how to kind of take that first step to the next level of my business. And so now I'm trying to start to take those steps and putting those forward.
I love that. Right. So not only is she reading the book, she's like literally taking those golden nuggets out, implementing them like a boss, and like doing the action steps that are going to require her to scale and step up to that next level of greatness. So I think a book that really sat with me, I've actually read it twice now in the last 7 months. My coach recommended it. You know, that's the beautiful part about coaches. I'm like, okay, I've read X, I've read Z, like what's be the next book? And she's like, girl, you need to read Rich as Fuck by Amanda Frances. And I'm like, okay,
that's on my list.
It's so good. And I'm telling you guys, if you have major money mindset, like crap going on within your head, that you're not capable of making a lot of money, or that making money is hard, like all these things, like this is a phenomenal book, really changed my mindset around money. I now no longer view debt as bad, you know, like we were all told to believe when we were children. But what's great about this book is that she literally calls it out. Like, she's like, everyone who reads the book typically all of a sudden is like open to this abundance, and the universe just provides. And then they all of a sudden just get like paid, and money just like falls into their lap. And I'm like, okay, let's just see this money fall into my lap. And the very first time I read the book, I got a check in the mail. This is like $790, like unexpectedly. I'm like, okay. And then like I just finished it again because I've been driving a lot and traveling. And so I was listening to it audio wise. And I kid you not, 2 days ago, we get a check in the mail from like the state of New Mexico. It's like, it's more money for you. And I'm like, what? Who just gives money out? I don't know. But yeah, you guys go out and read Tim Ferriss. And that was, what was it again?
Titans.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful books. Love it. Knowledge is power, but without those action steps, ladies, you will go nowhere. I promise you that. So let's dive in. Yamilca, I want to know a little bit, like, give me your 2-minute overview of who you are. How did you become the brand, like the brand guru, if you will?
Yes, so long time coming. So basically, I started my career at a big company who's really known for branding. I mean, they are like the world-renowned branding company in the world, which is Procter & Gamble. They make brands. They have thousands of brands, and they don't just have, $1 million brands. They actually have billion-dollar brands. So I got to work with one of the most, the best agencies, whether it was advertising or graphic agencies or in-store agencies. And then we got to travel the world to talk to consumers. Who gets to do that? And just the smartest people on board, right? They only hire like Harvard graduates. And so you have like the smartest team that you could ever have. And so, and they, like you just said at the beginning, you are who you hang around with. So I became so much more knowledgeable and understanding about different things. And I was just telling my students the other day that, one of the things that Procter & Gamble did give me was the ability to make my own career. I wasn't stuck with a certain type of title, like in my HR, in my accounting, in my marketing, in my this, and my that. We were able to kind of create our own path and things that we really love. So even though, that might not be what I do on my daily basis, I could kind of extract myself and put this title around something, and then have people have a conversation and talk to them about these things and put it in my own projects. So one of the things that I did during my career is really focus on archetypes. I had worked with an agency, and we had created kind of this little model for all my projects. And it was great because we could like really sift them in, look at them from that perspective, and throw them back out the door and really align with the multifunctional team and all these things. So with all that experience, I say, I got a PhD in like anything marketing, branding at Procter & Gamble, because it was really, it was a huge educational shift. And we also, as designers, because we were a very small, compared to the other functions, we were a very small function, and we had to educate people every day and all day and educate them on different subjects. And so that also gave me the education side of things, and I do that now. But really, that was the beginning of my love for what I call branding, because branding, to be honest, is a really big word, right? We some people think branding, oh, logo, or some people think branding, oh, visualization.
Yeah.
No, branding is all encompassing. Branding can be, we are, like you said at the beginning, we are all brands. I used to work on products, so we had to take products and make them people, right? Make sure they were kind of like some sort of, so they could connect, because we connect with humans. We are human beings, so we connect with humans, not with products. So making the products be more human really helped us sell it and really give it a life of its own. So what I say is the ecosystem of your brand is all encompassing. And so really learning about how to help people understand what is brand, what is their brand, and really understand who they are, right? We talked about authenticity. And if you're not authentic, you're not going to attract the right people, right? And you can say anything, because if you're authentic to your brand, people will be attracted to that. And the people who aren't, very good, goodbye, we don't need you, because you don't want work to be hard for you. And those people who aren't sure or aren't attracted to you are going to be the difficult clients. I can tell you that right now. I've had it in my own life. And so through my experience at P&G, when I left, I decided to create my own theory. And I left P&G not because of the work, I loved working at P&G, but because I found love. And you know this very well. And I left the city and I went to a different city. And so I decided then that I was going to try to do this on my own. Now, it's been a lot of years coming. As you know, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of work to be done in many ways. And I've learned a lot of things over the last few years, especially in the last year coming. And so always, evolving and creating new things and making sure my clients are happy and making amazing and incredible brands.
Yes. And with that, you guys, we are going to take a hot minute break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to get into like what Yamilca does and what a super fan is, and how you can start to maybe create a brand that attracts like magically those ideal clients. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. 365 Daily Hustle is a global health coaching company helping purpose-driven women boss up and get healthy so that they can truly show up and thrive in the world. We help women lose weight, gain energy, and feel sexy and confident in their bodies. We help women create sustainable habits that support a positive mindset, nutrition, exercise plans, stress relief, and of course, self-care. If you're tired of feeling like a failure when it comes to your weight loss and health goals, please visit our website at 365dailyhustle.com or join the Healthy Hustle Facebook community today for healthy tips, recipes, workouts, and more. Welcome back, y'all. We are talking with Yamilca Rodriguez. She is a brand therapist helping women all across the world, probably even men too, boss up and create businesses, like strong businesses, by building a very strong brand. And Yamilca, welcome back to the show. I want to first off start off right off the bat. Just give us what you do and a quick 1 minute overview of what you do, and then how people can find you.
Yes. So what I do is I create brands. So if you are a person, I do personal brands. And also, I also create the ecosystem around your brand, which can be logo, websites, social media. It's just the entire ecosystem, message, all those little things. And you can find me at Yamilca. So it's YAMILCA. at Bespoke, BESPOKE, branding agency.com. Or you can just go to the website, which is bespokebrandingagency.com.
Awesome. And you offer, obviously, so if someone's listening right now and they're like, I wonder what my brand looks like from like an outsider's perspective. I know as an entrepreneur, I've spent thousands of dollars, always re-updating my stuff, always whatever. And it's like, I do wonder what people think when they see my brand and my messaging. So can people go and like book a call with you somewhere? What's the best place to?
Yes. So they can either send me an email or send me a message on Instagram. It's Yamilca Rodriguez Branding. Or you can go on the website. There's a place where you can contact me. But what I do, if you just want an informational call, I will look and we can talk about your brand and what you're looking for, because you're right, Karissa. Like, I hate when people come to me and they've already spent all this money and their brand looks so disjointed, like it's all over the place. And so it's so important to do it right the first time. And what I say to people is that I'm not really doing anything new. I'm just showing you, because psychology is all about becoming aware of what you do, right? So it's about bringing the subconscious to the conscious. And so that's really what I do. We look at your brand personality through archetypes, which is all based on Jungian archetypes psychology, because you can't break psychology. And then what we do is, once we find that out, I do a report, I do an analysis, I do a whole bunch of work on that, because we need to really know each other, know your super fan, do the brand positioning, and then we start to execute. And then the execution on your entire brand, so it all looks cohesive. And everywhere you look, you see Karissa, and they recognize you because either of the color of the picture or the visualization of the font, and they can recognize you instantly. That's what branding is about, being consistent.
So you mentioned super fan. I tend to think I'm a superwoman sometimes. Like, what is a super fan, and why is a super fan so critical to a business?
I love that, because I coined the word super fan for my particular methodology, because I saw that people were trying to attract everybody and everything. And that is not the right thing to do. So I have the methodology that I do is, once I understand your archetype, the opposite is your super fan. And a lot of people think they are their super fan, like they are their avatar or ideal client. You cannot be your avatar. And let me tell you why. Because if you attract like is what I say. If you attract somebody that's like you, they're going to say, oh, I can do it myself. Oh, I don't need to pay her. Oh, I can figure it out. Right? When you attract the opposite, they're going to be like, I have no idea how to do this. I cannot do this. I need her. Right? And so that's really what it's all about. Figuring out who that opposite person is, your super fan, and really attracting them and writing message so you can attract them. So everything's strategy focused. I don't do anything without strategy. As just so you know, like my top, out of my top, there's five strength. The strength finder, it has 5. My top 3 strengths are strategic. So strategy is part of just, I was born with it. And so once I figure out what's the strategy, we go out and then execute on that strategy. But you need to understand what that is so you can really do the best for your brand.
And that's so interesting, right? Because I've been to so many schools, and I'm not talking coaching programs, you guys, like actual schools. I graduated from Health Coach Institute. Have my HMBA level, mastery level certifications, but they preach to you, you are your client. And our brain, our unconscious mind is recording all of this all the time, even the stuff that I'm speaking now, right? Like it's recording. So eventually, over months of hearing, we are our client, or we are our my ideal client is who I was maybe 12 years ago, someone who is struggling with weight. And she's not typically the woman, that's the woman that is inside of her, right? The queen that wants to come out and play so badly, but she has not given herself permission yet to boss up. And for her, for my client, it does start with the weight and the mindset and all that jazz. But that is interesting, because they preach that all the time. You are your client. And you can't, and they also, another, limiting belief, it's like, you can't help someone who you've never gone through, that transformation yourself. I also believe that that's kind of a hokey thing. Cause I'm like, girl, I can help anyone boss up to the next level. But yeah, interesting you say that. Okay. So obviously, let's go back to brands. What do you like? How can someone create a brand that is so powerful, so magnetic, that allows them to attract their clients?
Yeah, so there's a method to the madness. And so what we do is we do an assessment. We look at your archetypes, and that kind of gives way to understanding what your opposites are, which is your super fan. And then we look at the brand positioning, where you're positioned. So it's really a method. It's not, and it also has to do with you. Like, one of the things that I love doing, and I hate when people don't do this for their clients, and you probably know this a lot, Karissa, is that I have to really have empathy for them and understand where they're at and understand who they are, and then create something that you're going to love to do. Not that I'm going to love to do. I'm not going to make you do what I do. I'm going to make you do what you love, and how to think about service you. I think a lot of times coaches want to do things they know really well how to do and try to fit it into their clients, versus really looking at their clients and where they struggle, and really try to fit the methodology towards helping that client succeed. So that's really what's really important to me, is really look at the intricacies and make sure they can see them, and then be consistent. Consistent.
Consistent with messaging, consistent with marketing, consistent with meal planning. You guys, it's all like, that's like a key to anyone's success, probably, is consistency. Okay. So you would like, obviously, if there's thousands, probably millions already, health coaches out there, right? Like, how can I differentiate, like, how can I stand out? Because there's a lot of fitness people, and there's a lot of, how can someone like me stand out?
I was reading a quote, and I can't remember exactly what it said. I think it was Coco Chanel says, like, if you can't differentiate, you're not going to win the market. And it's so true. Like, differentiation is key. And like you said, health coaches, there's like millions and millions of them. Yeah. How can they become successful, right? And so when you look at who you are, right, when you understand truly, at a gut level who you are, then that really is where we focus on, because sometimes we tend to be Jekyll and
Hyde.
That's it. And we tend to be everywhere, and people are like, oh, she's over here, and then she's this, and then people are confused, right? But when you can focus, right, you can focus and really hone in that area of expertise, then that's how you're going to be differentiated, because you are unique, you're different. And so the way we look at it is, once we find out your true essence, we look at where you're positioned. And positioning is just another word for differentiation. And so once we figure out, okay, these are the things that you need to do to be different than so-and-so, than this person, because they're all going to tell you that you can lose weight.
Yes. We all promises, right? No, but that's so true, because I was struggling coach in 2019, struggling in 2020, because I was still trying to be everything to everyone. And I was like, but I can help this person, and I can help this guy, and this blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until 2021, halfway through, where my coach was like, Karissa, you're screaming to no one, right? And you're putting all this energy and effort into your marketing, and you're really talking to no one, because they don't see, you. And so I really did. I went through this breakthrough of like, what am I good at? What am I fucking genius at, actually? And how can I get my clients the transformations? What sets me apart? And then I stayed in my lane, you guys. I stayed in my freaking lane, and I had no problem saying no to the client who was not my ideal avatar, who was not my ideal like woman, right? I call them my unicorns. And that also is powerful, right? I can recognize when I can send a referral, because on the opposite side of the call, people are like, wow, she didn't just take my money. I was willing to give it to her, but I was like, I'm not the coach for you. Let me send you over to this person. Let me send you this way. And that was a beautiful thing. And that alone just attracted, more people to me, that was like, wow, okay. So you guys, you have to, really figure out, if you don't hire Yamilca, to help you with your branding, like I would say that that's your number one thing is like, who are you and who do you want to really work with? Like, don't be the yeser to everybody. It's just, you're really helping nobody that way. So with our last question, Yamilca, what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give women who have just started a business to, help them boss up, show up, and thrive in life? Best piece of advice.
Yeah. So the best piece of advice that I can give you, because I struggle with this myself, is really understand your value.
Mm.
And if you understand your value, you'll know what jobs to take and what jobs not to take. And there'll be temptations when you understand your value to take certain jobs because they're going to pay you. But really staying true to your values, you will be able to grow your business. And it's hard because you're going to be like, I'm turning this down. But the perfect one will come and you will make so much money that you're going to be like, wow, this is feasible. This is possible. And that's because you're staying true to your value. Because for a long time, I didn't value myself. I didn't value my expertise, my gifts. I didn't value them. So I was practically giving them away.
Such golden nuggets.
And when I learned that I did have value and I valued myself and I started, like firing clients and things like that, and only taking the ones who really value what I gave, my life changed.
Yeah. Completely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Yamilca, thank you so much for being such a beautiful guest on BossUp Babes. You guys, if you're looking to boss up your branding, your message, your overall, like if you want that clear picture, go book that call with Yamilca. She's fantastic. I've known her for a few years now. She's phenomenal woman. If you are looking to boss up in your health and your mindset, of course, I am a high performance habit coach, helping women boss up, get fit, and become unstoppable. So if you're tired of playing small, ladies, and you know you're meant for more, go ahead and book that free 15-minute get clarity call with me. We're going to talk about your goals. We're going to get down and dirty, and I'm going to give you some no BS approaches on how you can boss up in your health. And trust me, I only work with women who are ready to take action. So if you're not quite there yet, please just save that time for the women who are. I would love to support them and guide them. But in the meantime, ladies, stay hustling, stay bossing up, and of course, stay healthy.
Thank you for listening to BossUp Babes with Karissa Adkins, bringing you tangible tips and expert coaching advice to help you boss up and get healthy. Tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for interviews with industry leaders and powerhouse boss babes that will empower you to take action and live your best life. If you're ready to boss up and work with Karissa in one of her transformative group coaching programs, visit 365dailyhustle.com.